Then, okay, let me be normal. Hi, I'm Nora and you are currently watching my channel. This is a stats video of how I got into the Ivy League. If you don't know, I got into Brown and Dartmouth and I got waitlisted at Harvard. So if you're wondering how I did it, or part of how I did it, you've come to the right video. If you don't want to hear all the details and my advice, personal advice on each of the aspects of the statistical number portions of the college application process, then you can just watch this quick little video. It's 1 minute of just purely the numbers that got me into the Ivy League. I would suggest it if you don't have a lot of time, but come back to this video because there's more to it than meets the eye. Someone commented on that video and was like, you only got those scores? How the heck did you get in? Well, person who commented that, here's why I think I got in with those scores. And just a disclaimer, I'm not making this video to brag, but because really there's nothing to brag about. If anything, my scores are on the lower spectrum of what Ivy Leagues accept. If anything, I am here to potentially be a beacon of hope to those of you who have similar scores to me, maybe, and encourage you to reach for your dream and apply to those schools that you want to, because you can do it. You know, you can do it. Let's start with SATs. My SAT final was a 1470. I got a 750 in math and a 720 in English. I took the SAT 3 times. First time I got a 1410. No, I got a 1420. Then I got a 1440, and then I got a 1470. And the 1470 ended up being my super score anyways. Next, I have my ACT. For my ACT, I took it twice, and I got a 32 both times. So yeah, the second time was kind of a waste. I probably should have prepped more for it, but it worked out. It got me in. Here's just my spiel about testing. Those numbers, they are pretty high, but they're not, as I said before, they're kind of like at the lower end of what is typically expected of students who get accepted to the Ivy League. But the reason I think that I was able to get in with those scores is because colleges are starting to put less emphasis on the numbers, and they're looking more into the personality of the kids they're accepting and the passions that they hold. Of course, they want to see the numbers just to know that you're able to handle the rigor of the college, but they're putting less importance on it as future years are coming. Even some colleges are starting to not require testing at all, which I think is really great, because testing is not a good way to measure students' capabilities, and it gives an unfair advantage to wealthier families who are able to focus on getting those numbers and sending their kids to prep classes and buying the books that other students of lower income aren't able to afford, but still they might have the potential of an Ivy League education, but they just don't have the resources to do so. And I know College Board is doing more to reach out to those low income students by creating waivers for testing and such, which I got to participate in, thankfully, or else I wouldn't have been able to take it as many times as they did. This is not really confirmed or anything, but like my point of view on the subject is that just the sheer quantity of students that are applying, yes, testing is kind of needed just as a basis to see like what students can survive at this school or not. But testing is not everything, and thank goodness, because there's so much more to a person than just how well they perform on tests. Because honestly, test taking is a skill, and some people just like they can't like perform well on tests because of the anxiety it provokes. Luckily for me, I don't really have test taking anxiety, and that gives me sort of an unfair advantage that I just happen to be born with, to taking these tests and being able to go to these schools, you know? I don't know, I'm kind of just coming up with these as off the top of my head, but yeah, even though my scores weren't that high, like I think my extracurriculars and essays made up for it. This video is already long as it is, so if you want to hear about my ECs and essays, then you can leave a comment below, leave a like, subscribe, because I will be coming out with those videos later. Next, let's go over my GPA. As of my senior year, I had a GPA of 3.8. Now that doesn't sound that good considering the fact that like students are getting 4.0s, but I just want to say that 3.8 is actually not that bad. It's only a 3.8 because of my freshman year grades, which I had a 3.6 in freshman year, but I bounced back my sophomore year with a 3.9 something. I don't know, I only had like 1 A minus, so yeah. And then my junior year I had a 3.8, and then my senior year I had 3.8. Like I maintained the exact same grades for the last 4 semesters of high school. Like I was looking at it, I was like, wow, I had like all A's and then like 1 A minus and 1 B plus for like 4 straight semesters. Different classes, of course, but I was like, wow, look at that maintenance. Look at that consistency. Colleges look more into depth than just your GPA. They also look at your course load, your classes, and I think what also gave me a favorable, I don't know the word, what also helped my case was the fact that I did not start high and then go lower. Instead, I started low and I improved and maintained. I mean, I got a little lower between sophomore and junior year, but my course load also increased after my sophomore year. So I think I'm in the mind of an admissions officer, like if I were to look at a GPA, I would see, wow, this girl, even though her course load got heavier, she managed to not only improve her grades, but maintain them. And yeah, that's all I have to say about my GPA. I think it might not look that good just as a number, but there's, of course, when admission officers, when they're going through these applications, they look deeper. They have to look deeper because there's millions of 3.8s out there, and they want to know what makes each one different. Well, they don't look through millions, but you know what I mean. Just to wrap up all these numbers, 1470, 32, and 3.8. As I said before, numbers are becoming less important, and they want to look more at a holistic review of a person's application, and numbers are just a part of that. What I think the numbers do is it just like, as they're sifting through thousands of applications, they want to see a basis of like, oh, do they meet the scores? Do they meet the grades? Okay, now we're gonna throw the rest of these, not away, but like these ones already we're deciding to deny, and we're gonna take these numbers, the ones that meet the basic numbers, and look through them more, and then that's how they keep going through and cutting. Oh, I feel so bad saying cutting out, but like just like, because they have to cut down the pile. So even though numbers are becoming less important and aren't the main factor in deciding who gets in, it's important to have that basis and foundation so these colleges know already that you meet the level of rigor. I keep saying that. Let me find a new word. You meet the curriculum, the academic I'm just gonna say you meet what they're looking for already, and then they can look into you as a person. So yes, aim high on those tests, aim high in your classes, get the grades. Yeah. Anyways, that's a good transition to APs. I took a whopping 4 APs across my high school career. Wow. How'd she get in? I ask myself the same question every day. I've watched several of these stats videos, and in each of them, the kids have taken like 9 APs, 10 APs, been taking since they were like freshmen, straight out of the high school womb. And I didn't take my first AP till junior year, and that was AP Physics 1. And I took the other 3 APs in my senior year, which was AP Psych, and AP Calc AB. I'm not going to say my AP Physics score because I would rather not. But my AP score was a 4, my AP Psych score was a 5, and my AP Calc AB score was a 4. It's good to take APs because it shows you're able to handle the difficulty of college level courses. Once again, don't take my AP courses at face value because my school is different from your school. And my school doesn't offer a lot of APs. For example, we don't have AP English, which I would have taken. We don't have AP Gov. And my school does not recommend taking more than 2 APs a year. And they don't recommend underclassmen taking APs. Freshmen and sophomores don't usually take APs at my school, and I didn't take APs during my freshman and sophomore year. Even though my school doesn't offer like all the APs, and they don't really like, I don't want to say they don't like encourage APs because they do, but like they really want the students to take courses that they're interested in rather than taking an AP just because it's an AP, which is a good mindset to have because high school will be much more enjoyable if you're taking the courses that you actually want rather than the ones you think will look good. Because contrary to a belief, although it looks good to have all these APs on your list, they would much rather see that you're taking courses that feed your passions and show something about your personality rather than taking an advanced placement course just to be an advanced placement course. But of course, if your interests line up with an AP, then go for it, do it, because that shows like you're taking your passion to the highest level. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video of me kind of going crazy and just rambling about college admissions process. Just as a disclaimer, that's the word, just as a disclaimer, I'm not really a college channel, but I do make college videos. Because why? Because college videos get views, and I need views to get subscribers to make the content that I actually do want to create. I make vlogs and non-vlogs. I'm just starting out, so there's not much on my channel, but if you please could, maybe, if this video helped you, please subscribe and hit the like button. And I mean, I don't want to be branded as a college channel because there's tons of college channels out there, but I will continue to make college videos such as sharing my extracurriculars and my essays, which will be coming soon if this video takes off. And I just want to say good luck to everyone who will be starting the college process shortly. That was a very stressful time period for myself, so I know what you're about to go through. Have fun. Reach out to me on my social media, Instagram at nora.sugu, Snapchat at nora.sugu, Twitter at nora_sugu. If you have any questions, specific questions about colleges, I know I've talked to several people who have already reached out to me, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you want to see next, and more videos coming soon. Okay, bye.
순간 심장이